everyone, my name is Alondra and I decided to take a little different approach and be a little creative. So I went ahead and wrote this, so I'm going to start off. Alondra's crash course on muscle contractions. So here is my picture that I drew, but before that I'm going to go ahead and just give you a little more information. So I'm put here, think of a skeletal muscle like a really sturdy piece of rope. And then here I drew so basically this is like our arm in a way, like this is the bone, like our arm. Then there's a tendon attached to it, obviously the muscle, and then there's 3 layers, so it's epi, peri, and endo. We have our blood vessel, the sarcolemma, our myofibril, our fascicle, and so forth. That was just a little picture of that. And then I went into more detail on the myofibril and how it's a tiny parallel thread that is squished together to form our muscle fibers. And then here is our muscle fiber. So these form the fascicles. And then here on our muscle fiber, is where we would have our nuclei and our sarcolemma. And then here's our fascicle, and fascicles are combined to form muscle. And last but not least, our muscle. So with all of this said, this is our muscle, and like I had mentioned before, the most outer layer would be the epimysium, and then would be our perimysium, and then our endomysium. And those are the 3 layers of protective tissue. Okay, then I want to go ahead and wrote down 2 things that I think are important for us to know. 1, proteins like to change shape when stuff binds to them. And 2, changing shapes can allow proteins to bind or unbind with other stuff. And then here I also drew our sarcomere. So the sarcomere is here. It's going to be, well, for example, okay, let me explain it a little bit more. Here on the sides are zigzag type of lines are going to be called our Z lines or our Z discs. And in the sarcomere we have myofilaments, 2 types of myofilaments, which are going to be our actin and our myosin. And I'm going to go ahead and write another note here. So a muscle contracting is all about sarcomeres contracting, bringing the Z lines closer together. So basically myosin binds to actin and makes this happen. The use of calcium and ATP causes this binding and unbinding. So here we go to our picture. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain this in 7 steps. So as you see, I went ahead and wrote like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So like always, we go ahead and start off our muscle contraction with a neural impulse, which arrives at our axon terminal. So step 1, here we go. Step 1, acetylcholine releases from the axon terminal and binds to receptors on the sarcolemma. Let me go ahead and go like this. So our sarcolemma here would be this, what is it called? This purple that I drew here. And then an action potential is generated and travels down the T tubule, which would be this little tube right here that I drew in like a little circle type of way. Then calcium is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum in response to the change in voltage. And then this little blue thing right here would be the sarcoplasmic reticulum. And these little blue dots that I drew would be our calcium. Okay, so then step 4. Calcium binds to troponin and cross bridges form between actin and myosin. Then we move on to step 5. Acetylcholine Niterase, I totally forgot how to pronounce that. It's something like that. You understand me. Removes the acetylcholine from the synaptic cleft. And then calcium is transferred. Well, then we go to 6. Then calcium is transported back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Right here. And then the last step, which would be 7. Would be tropomyosin binds active sites on actin, causing the cross bridges to detach. So just in case you didn't catch that, I know I was explaining a little fast. This would be our axon terminal. Those little orange reddish type of dots would be our synaptic vesicles, and then our synaptic cleft would be right here. The little, like I had said, those little red dots that are now released here would be the acetylcholine, so it's ACH for short. And then our little blue sac looking thing here would be our sarcoplasmic reticulum, the calcium. What else? That's pretty much it. Our sarcolemma. And what else? Oh, well, the T-tubule, I already explained that. And well, yeah, that's pretty much it. So that would be my video, and it was called Alondra's Crash Course on Muscle Contractions. Thank you.